Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you have subscribed. Please don't continue without hitting the red button and making it gray and hitting the bell. So today we are going to go back to our business topics. This year we decided to add a business segment. And today we are going to go through a very important segment in your business. If you're running a business, you really need this, especially right now, so that you can move ahead and so that you can be in the right books with both KRA, yourself, your investors, and everyone else. So we're going to talk about business financial records. And I have once again brought John to tell us about it. So take it away.
Thank you. Thanks. I think financial record is a critical element of any business. It is something that most people will not maybe give a lot of thought to it, but it's very critical. So I've seen businesses that have struggled just because of poor financial records. For your information, you're actually required to keep records for 5 years for purpose of Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA audits and stuff. But they can go back beyond 5 years in case there is either one, investigation or fraud, or they suspect there was some fraud or some way like people wanted to hide some revenue to them that was not declared. So then that means then they can go back as fast as they can. So keeping records for a business is very critical. And then also, if you have actually the records not in order, then you can be given any kind of assessment they want, because you cannot justify your expense, your revenue and stuff. So from KRA perspective, records are very critical, and for this for small business. And because we are focusing more on SMEs and small business and people who are just starting up, I just want to give you a few things that you need to look at it. One, where we are saying that legally you are required to have them for 5 years and above. And if there's an audit ongoing, and until it's concluded, those years will still continue. So they can even do 8 years because they haven't concluded the specific audit they were doing. But then, just as a business person, why should you have records? One is, first of all, to just know how you're doing. Just knowing how you're doing is very critical. Sometimes, if you don't know how you are doing your recording things, then it becomes very hard. You find out that some people who they're having fun, think they're actually doing business, but in actual sense they're making out of losses just because they don't have records. They don't know how much money is coming in and going out, and why is it going and why is it coming in. So if you don't track that, then it becomes a problem. If you cannot number your numbers, then it becomes a very problem to actually see your profitability. So that's one thing. And then two, when you look at taxes, as we said, that's given. We have said that you need the record for tax purposes, so that's good. Then the third thing is that for your investors, if you ever want to have someone to invest in a business as it grows, then there must be very good records each and every time that they can actually see the trend as they look at the future, and they say you have been consistent, you have been making profit, you have making a return. Maybe your return on investment has been 10% continuously year in, year out, and therefore there's confidence in that. So that becomes very important for them. Your bankers, you want to go to the bank, then again they want to see that. That's why they usually say we want 6 months bank statements, but sometimes they look for more. And the main reason why they go back that is that they want to see the trend. They want to see which is your low season, high seasons, and when they give you the cash, will you be able to actually pay based on the records that are there. So all in that, coming up on why you need those records clearly and well documented is nice. If you have employees, keeping records of employees is critical for labor laws, issues of labor. It's very important for you to have them in case someone even sues you, and that you are not doing where ABC. The actually records are there, because sometimes, and that's why even simple things like house girl. Yeah, people who don't pay by M-Pesa, they pay by cash, and then someone will go to court and say, she has never been paying me for the rest, and that just goes. How will you prove that you actually paid the house manager money if you don't have records of how you paid them? So that is critical. But then, how do you make your records good? The best thing I've seen that you have to be very deliberate to your records. One, let the numbering be clear. Let the account, the names be very clear. Don't lump them up. Don't put accommodation, food, transport together into one. Unbundle them. Let them be very specific and say it's transport. If it's air or ground transport, is very critical there. It's in accommodation, is in, so that if someone asks you why are these projects like this accommodation, there are many conferences, you say actually it's like, if you attend conferences, they're actually there. It's very clear there. Then you make sure you label them well again. No miscellaneous other costs, because if they don't have a name, then they should not exist. So you should never have like other costs or miscellaneous costs. It should be allocated to a specific cost item, and that becomes very clear. How you label them again matters, because if some like authorities come and then pull out your financials, and then they see very weird entertainment, then it's already like a place to focus on, to see what are you looking at entertainment. Are you going to the bar, enjoying yourself, and then putting that money into the business expenses? Yeah, so it's already like a red flag on their side. But if they are well labeled, so that it's not actually entertainment, but it's actually business development, or it's not actually business development, but it's actually accommodation for a conference that you attended because you are in a certain industry and you attend a few of those conferences, then it becomes very easy for you. So clear labeling is there. Putting them, scanning is good. Why? Because the hard copy, they can get lost, they can get torn. A kid will pour water on it, or even your tea and coffee and something. So, and it's also very expensive right now to actually maintain paper files. So scanning them is good. I actually say you scan and label them per date and per expense item, so that if you put them on your Google Drive or your Dropbox or SharePoint or whichever medium, you can only search and say, on this particular day I want to see transport, and then it will pop out all the transport costs that you have. If it's fuel, it will pop out like that. So scanning would be very good. It's the best way to archiving, and it's also cheaper. And then I think if you do that, then kind of you are good in terms of record keeping, and you want to make sure that things are okay. System, as you grow, you need to have a system. Yeah, you can start with the simple as Excel, just to put a tab on it. And that is very important, even in your own life, your own expenses. Until you start itemizing your costs, you never know where your money is going. But when you start itemizing, and at the end of the month, you're like, okay, let me see where my money went. There's a day I actually spent some time just look at my M-Pesa payouts, and I realize, there are even people whom I don't know why even I send the money. So that is like, it comes like I know, like, okay, fine, I send this cash, but I even don't remember why I sent this money to someone. And that becomes a good way of managing your finances. So put it even in Excel, and then when you grow, your business grows, then you can put it in that system. Some of them are as cheap as 10,000, 15,000 per, actually not per year, but one-off. So it's something that someone can invest in. And once you have a system, it becomes very easy to pull the data at any particular time. In case the revenue authorities come, you just say, ask you for these things, you pull out, you show them. But if you don't have, then you have a very rough time actually explaining yourself. And some people just either disappear or they close business, and they just go, because they can't justify the cost, they can't justify the revenue. They've been given things that they don't understand, and therefore they spend too much time. And because you cannot recreate your records for 5 years down the line, then the assessment that will be given is all that you will have to defend, and becomes a very big burden for you as a business person. So for most businesses, I would say number them, number your records, number your performance, and with that you can always measure your performance. With that you can always give it to the financiers, your investors, and for your own sanity, it's just good for you to have the records.
So if I'm starting a small business, probably I'm not even making enough sales to attract the revenue authorities, do I still need to keep financial records?
Yes, you still need to keep your financial records. Actually, small business have another challenge, mixing money for the business and the personal money. Yeah. And as we said, one of the worst things is actually not knowing how much you're earning, because your money is still mixed up with business money. And one way to look at it, actually, look at your M-Pesa statement and look if you have a T number or a pay bill, and look at the M-Pesa statement at the end of the month. You'll see a lot, more than you transact, because it's bringing in both the business cash as well as your M-Pesa normal transaction. So you see that mix up doesn't give you ability to actually recognize how much if you are making or not. Now, you are still a small business, want to separate the personal business money, and also you are a small business coming up, but remember in future you're growing. So if you are growing, as I said, 5 years down the line, you need to have those records. If you cannot justify the records, the income and the expense 5 years down the line, then, as you say, right now, there might be no reason for someone to come for you, but 2 years down the line, there'll be a reason, and you will not have anything to do. And even the bank, you don't have it, but when you want to go to the bank, they tell you, we want the bank statements, and you're like, oh, I've never been, I just pay into my account. It's not a business account. Then the question becomes this, then are you reliable? Are you mixing these things? And how do you justify that? So then it becomes a hindrance again for your growth financial. So you need to really keep them. Whether you are starting small, even if you don't have a business, just
you are aspiring to have one.
Yes, you're aspiring to have one. Start
keeping records even for your own house.
For your own house, yes. As I said, tracking where the money is going. Knowing it will help you, like the budgeting is the first basic principle of financial management. Without that, then things becomes bad. Whether it's an individual, whether it's a business, a company, you really have to have that budget.
Thank you so much. So I think we have listened. I have also listened and heard that the first principle for you as a person and even as a business is to keep financial records. You need to know where your money is going, and you need to know how your money is coming. And if you don't know that, then you're not in business. You're not joining the team that is making millions in this year. So thank you so much, John, for once again teaching us how to keep our financial records. If you have questions, please put them in the comment section and we're going to answer them. And if you'd like him to come back and talk to us about other business topics, he's actually a tax expert. If you're struggling with taxes, actually last year I and so many of my friends lose their businesses because of taxes. I and so many others have their accounts locked because of taxes. So do not ignore the tax man. He's going to come for you, no matter how small you think you are. If you are transacting and having income, remember to file your returns and to keep your records. You will need them, so please do not be caught off guard. Once again, thank you so much, John, for coming and teaching us all this. We appreciate you, and we will bring you back. The viewers will tell us if they want you to come back and tell us more about money and how to make sense of our money. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Always remember, if you have a vision, add some
passion.
I'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.